Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Wicked Little Letters. And this is a new comedy, crime film? It certainly is. It's odd saying that out loud, but it certainly is, as we have Thea Sharrock, who directs this film, previously had done films like Me Before You, which... that's very interesting because both of them do have some surprising wit about them. This one definitely leans a little bit more into that biting kind of British wit or Irish wit as well, as we focus on this story of Littlehampton, this town where a local conservative woman, Edith, played by Olivia Colman, keeps getting these raunchy, horrible letters sent to her and her family, and she believes it's Rose, one of her neighbors, a young Irish immigrant played by Jessie Buckley, because she's rough, she's tumble, she curses, she drinks. And this film really focuses on those clashing of cultures, that perspective against the other of immigrants. There's a lot of sexism involved, as we do have another main focal point of this film being Anjana Vasan, who plays the police officer Gladys Moss, who's a young woman who's a police officer and not taken seriously by the rest of the police, and she knows who's really doing this and she's putting in the real work, but they don't trust her and don't take her seriously because, you know, she's a woman cop. So this is indeed a period piece. This is from like the 1920s, so like that is on point for the era. But what I appreciate most about this film is that there's definitely a great wit about it. These letters are crazy. Jessie Buckley is just so much fun and like lashing out. And even Olivia Colman, through her stiff upper lip and this facade she puts on, has some of those moments as well. You even have the likes of like Timothy Spall, who plays Coleman's father, who's a lot of fun as well. There's a great humor about this film, but it also deals with some really serious things, and probably the biggest drawback I have about this film is there's a couple of things that happen in this film that are really heavy, like heavy, and it's kind of a whiplash going from this fun, snarky kind of comedy to like, oh my god, this, like, that person's not going to be okay, and it has this weight there, and you're just like, that was a little too unexpected, because it's not like it's a dark comedy for like the first half of this film, but then it does start to get deep because it's dealing with serious things. This woman can go away to prison, and there's some unexpected adverse effects of these letters. And the mystery about what's really going on, they really tip the hat on that pretty early, and it kind of takes away some of that tension. But how this all plays out is so entertaining, so enjoyable. Sharrock is able to bring a great energy to the film, but it's the cast that really sells this. Even like the small supporting cast or some of the other women in this community, the small town politics of this town really shine through. But it's Colman, it's Buckley, it's Spall. It's just so many great performers that bring a lot to the table, and no matter how big their role is, they're really memorable. It reminds me of something like Banshees of Inisherin, where everybody was memorable, down to like the smallest supporting character. This is able to capture that kind of community and tell an interesting crime story with a bit of courtroom drama. It's an interesting mix, this historical film, that really captures some interesting themes in terms of sexism and classism and repression. And how it all plays out on screen is done in such a sharp and fun and just endlessly entertaining, though sometimes shockingly heavy, ways. It's definitely a film that hits a certain chord for me. I definitely love a good British comedy. This definitely pulls you in, really grabs you with these characters and the actors that bring them to life, and tells an interesting story that has some poignant themes that unfortunately are still relevant today. But those are my thoughts on Wicked Little Letters. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.